Welcome to On the Chain.
Now let's break this down. We had Charles Payne, who's a reporter, commentator on Fox Business. We had none other than John Deaton, representing nearly 70,000 XRP holders, on with him, and we're going to dive into that right now. Let's take a look at this, and then we'll analyze it. And I have to say that if this doesn't make you proud to have somebody like John Deaton representing the XRP community, I don't know what will. There's the good guys, there's the bad guys, there's everybody in between, but John Deaton is fantastic.
All right, to say we've hit a rough patch for crypto investors would be an understatement. However, it's got the doubters and naysayers circling like sharks as each day seems to bring more questions and even more bad news. Now, many are saying, hey, listen, this is just part of the curve. It's only natural when you have something like this, something revolutionary like this. But there are still some issues, including legal issues, that feel like a whirlwind. Not sure just yet. Joining me now, crypto law founder, John Deaton, and I want to start with the SEC chair. Yesterday or this week, Gary Gensler.
Okay, so we'll cut him a little slack. He called him John Denton, but to be fair, I also got John's name wrong on a tweet one time, so it happens. I called him John Deacon, and that's the bass player for Queen, and I was like, well, I don't know how that happened, but John Denton, he's just cool and collective. He's like, that doesn't matter, let it roll off. I mean, it's his big time appearance. There he is sitting right next to him. This is the consummate pro that John Deaton is.
He made some comments, and some aren't sure where he's putting Bitcoin, for instance. Did he say Bitcoin was a commodity? Is it a security? And where does that leave the rest of these cryptos?
Well, Charles, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Gary Gensler came out and finally, after a year, said that Bitcoin is a commodity, but it took him a year to do it. And he didn't comment on any of the other cryptocurrencies. And there's a specific reason for that. He prefers there to be vagueness and regulatory uncertainty, because when there's regulatory uncertainty, it allows him prosecutorial options, right? Because
that gray area.
That gray area.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm on the security side. Believe me, when I first got into business, I found out about the gray area the hard way. Because they're, particularly small, young, and coming into the business, you start a business, and the Wall Street side, there's no, like you said, there's no clear lanes, but they do this deliberately. You think they deliberately leave these gray areas?
Oh, absolutely. Because if you provide guidelines, what do entrepreneurs and companies do, Charles? They meet those guidelines. When you keep it uncertain, it gives you options for him to continue to engage in regulation by an enforcement, right? That's how he's doing it. I went on record to say that, to predict that he's going to sue an exchange or two by the end of this year and claim that they're selling unregistered securities other than Bitcoin, but he won't tell you which ones are securities.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right. And it's hard to be ignorant of a law if the law doesn't exist.
Exactly. Absolutely.
It's one thing to say, okay, I didn't know it was on the books, but it's really despicable.
It's disgusting.
Despicable and disgusting are two phenomenal adjectives right there. And it's so great that Charles Payne gets it. I saw Eleanor Terrett tweet today that Fox Business just overtook CNBC, which for the longest time in the US was like the #1 business program. Fox Business is the more the newer. They've probably been around 15, 17 years. Don't quote me on it. Someone on chat will know. But it's really great that I think it was today or yesterday she tweeted out that they had surpassed them, because you're having this kind of great content getting into, and having someone like John Deaton talk about it. I'm just blown away. I'm just incredibly blown away. I'm just like getting into it. Let's go. Let's play the rest.
Really? Is what it is. He keeps going on record to saying these exchanges are selling securities. And then you ask, well, which ones? And he won't say, because now we know from his comment that you just asked me about, he's going to go with they're all securities except for Bitcoin, which makes this Ripple XRP case extremely important.
I want to get to that in a minute,
Absolutely.
but let me just ask about all of the, seemingly endless bad news.
Yep.
Some are saying, hey, you know what, this is a wild, wild west kind of thing. The opportunities are crazy, but, they're there, and this is almost to be expected. In a way, it could be a good thing if we get something out of it, maybe guardrails, maybe some regulations. What do you think?
Well, I think that the house of cards are kind of crashing in because you have some of these companies, they have a business model of crypto lending with using highly leveraged strategies. And they offer these 20% or higher leveraged applications, and they can't meet them. And when you get into an illiquid environment like we have today with raising interest rates, liquidity dries up and the house comes crashing down. And I think that eventually will clean the house.
So where is the Ripple case right now?
Well, the Ripple XRP case, and I'm glad you asked because it's something I'm passionate about. Today, and I want to make sure I get the number right. Today, Charles, we hit 68,250 people from 61 different countries around the world that have joined to fight the SEC in their overreach and government intrusion. And I want to tell you something. There's a couple thousand of them that don't even own XRP. They just feel like you do. It's disgusting of what's happening.
Right. I mean, you know, and by the way, I did see last time, the last time there was anything from the courts that the CEO of Ripple said it had gone, quote, exceedingly well. The notion that so many people want to see this succeed, again, whether you're an investor or not, I think speaks to the idea of freedom, of innovation, of self-determination. And there are a lot of powerful forces out there that don't want to see that happen.
Absolutely. And what I think what's happening is that cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, it's one of the few times in history where the individual kind of front run the industry, if you will, and the hedge funds. And personally, I think the Gensler's attack on crypto is to allow the hedge funds and the Wall Streeters to come in, crash the market. They come in and then
by the way,
promote it.
they do that with the stock market all the time, all the time. By the way, did you see a guy from Citadel left Citadel to get in the crypto business?
Of course.
Yeah.
The regulators leave and go into crypto too.
All right, John, you're doing a great job. Really, so many people look up to you, and I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you very much.
That was beautifully executed by, I mean, just fantastic. I mean, it really did a great performance there. And I think he's got to come back on there. What do you guys think? I would think that he would be invited back. He talked about the Citadel. Somebody left from Citadel, went into blockchain, but also Citadel is leaving where? I think they're leaving Chicago. They're coming down to Miami. And we're seeing a lot of other companies that are leaving California, moving elsewhere. And we see that Citadel, which is massive company, they're moving down here to Miami, which is just incredible. I wanted to jump into this next story. So it looks like Jed McCaleb it looks like he's running out of XRP finally. I don't know how long it's been, but he has this agreement with Ripple that he can only liquidate so much per day, and it looks like he's now below 100 million. He may run out of XRP in less than 30 days. Of course, he probably wishes that it was around that $1.75 mark, but doesn't really matter. I mean, he probably will be richer and make more money from XRP than he does. And who knows? I mean, the jury's still out. We'll have to wait. Time will tell. But according to data provided, he's got 96 million roughly left in his XRP wallet. And he liquidated 7 million XRP on the 27th of June. So this was a couple days old.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.